Hello, this is Bill. Sorry Mr. Awesome was not able to make it here today, but that's okay. Who says we can't have fun? So today we're going to be graphing rational expressions, going through an example with steps, of course. So here we go. Our equation, as you can see, is y equals x plus 4 over x minus 4. I'm sorry, let me adjust this camera so y'all can see. It's pretty good. Well, our first step is to find our axis of symmetry, which you get by plugging in negative x for x. So we're going to do that. Y equals negative x plus 4 over negative x minus 4. And you see we got two negative x's, so we cancel out the negatives. And that would make it the exact same as it was before. Forgive my handwriting. Well, there you go. And because it stayed the same, it is a y-axis symmetry. And that's just what it's called when it does that. If it does not become the same again, then it is origin axis symmetry. Not a whole lot to worry about in your graph with this. It's just something you should get a habit of doing. So our next step will be to find the y-intercept. Yes. So you plug in 0 for x, as most of us remember. So here we go. 0 plus 4 over 0 minus 4. Negative 4 over 4 equals negative 1. So then our y intercept, yes, is negative 1. So that will make it 0, negative 1. Now this should be important in our graph. So now we do our x-intercept, which some may not be as familiar with, but it's still pretty easy. All you do is set the numerator equal to 0 in this case. So then you see subtract 4, giving you negative 4. So then that is negative 4, 0. And let me make sure the camera can see that. Forgive the camera. Seen through glass. Ah, there we go. That's good. Alright. Well, after that, we find the vertical asymptote, which you get by setting the denominator, or the equation's denominator, equal to 0. So it's going to be x minus 4 set equals 0. So then add 4 and bang, 4. This is important, of course, so remember this. Now we need to find our horizontal asymptote, which will be you look at the powers of your first x, or so powers of them, and it varies depending on how the powers are compared to the others, and there are different rules for each, if I'm making any sense here. But so let me draw this out. X plus 4 over x minus 4. So here, you see, same powers of x's, x to the first, x to the first. It's equal. So the numerator is represented by n, and the denominator is represented by m. So that would mean n is equal to m. It's just how we write it. Giving us a horizontal, well, if it's the same, then we set the coefficients over each other. So you see 1, which it can just be figured, or we know that because there's no number beside x. So 1 over 1 equals 1. So that means we have a horizontal asymptote, HA, for horizontal asymptote of 1. And vertical asymptote is represented by VA. And, well, now we can get to graphing. So let's start. So now we're going to go ahead and figure a little bit of our graph out. This is where horizontal and vertical asymptotes can help us out with. So 1, 2, 3. Let me get some graphing paper so y'all can see. So our horizontal asymptote, we can plug in a way so we know both sides of our graph. So our horizontal asymptote, which of course goes horizontal, is 1. So horizontal at 1, so our horizontal is at 1, so we got a dotted line right here at 1. And then our horizontal asymptote is, let me check again, that is 4. So 4 right here. Let me finish writing it out. So you see we got this to help guide us. It goes down here, across the page. So now we're going to plug in some points so we know how to graph this. So we plug in points from each side of the graph. So let's plug in 5. We plug it into the original equation. And this right here will give us 9. We will plot that in a minute. And let's plug in 7. I think that's a good one. And that will give us 11 over 3. We're doing 2 points from each side, so let's do 0, -1, and last but not least, darn it, -4, 0. Now let's plot these points. So I just plotted 5, 9, which is right there. Okay, now let's plug 7, 11 over 3. So, let's see, this is 6. 11 over 3, that would be around here. Now let's plug in 0, -1 right here. Make sure that's seen well. And then -4, 0. So now we can draw lines, and we already know direction because we got a few points. And this is really all you have to do. It's not that hard, as you can see. we were able to find the directions. And you see, we got different lines on each side of this right here. I hope this helped. Thank you for your time.